we have top side, and then we have a front side and a back side. So we have we have the top, we have the front, something like that, and then we have the back. And the idea behind this is that by doing these variations in color, you can add a feel to your guy. So for example, when we're looking at, if I grab this guy here and copy it really quickly and move you over here, for this guy, we have the top, we have the side, and then we have the dark. There we go, the dark. That's the shape breakdown. So when you're thinking in terms of how to draw rocks, I think that's something that gets a little bit, or that gets overlooked. At least when I was doing something like this, I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at. If I were to do this method, how would I try to picture what's going on here? I'm not quite sure. We can try and see if we can figure it out. For example, maybe what I was thinking is I'll put this guy as our top. So I'll go ahead and make these guys our continuous. So I think maybe that was supposed to be the top. Maybe this guy was supposed to be our side. And then maybe this guy was supposed to be our bottom. And you can kind of see, right, how this doesn't look quite right. So just not even thinking of color, thinking in terms of structure, how might I redo this rock today? What I'll do first is I'll go ahead and grab you here, and we'll try rounding the area out here, possibly like this, right? Top. And then from there, we also have a top here, right? Now, I'm trying to keep it in line. Next up for these side guys, right? We're thinking top, side, bottom. What I'll try to do is see about, right? So we have, this is the top. I'm gonna maybe do this as more of a top here. Like that could possibly work out a little bit more. And then from there, okay, that's the top. This is the top part. Then we have the side. This is tricky, I can say that. Usually, when I look at these, what I'll try to do is I'll try to sketch out what I'm doing. What can help here is thinking in terms of 3D. That's why I did the 3 colors. So sometimes, or not sometimes, but this is where knowing your 3D can come in handy. Knowing how to draw boxes, like say, this, for example, can be handy because it can help you fill out perspective. And when you're trying to figure out, all right, how's this rock supposed to look in this guy here, it can be helpful. So when we're looking at this guy, right, what's the shape of the box? This one here is easy to understand, right? We have the top here, and then we have another top here. There's kind of an edge here, like this, and then we have the side. That's the feel of that guy. When I look at something like this and I'm thinking to myself, what's going on? And if we're trying to see this, right, there's kind of a top here, there's kind of another top here, and then there's another top here, kind of like big, medium, small, sorta-ish. So then I'm thinking, okay, maybe, right, because maybe this guy's coming out like that. Maybe then this guy is coming out like possibly this. We have this guy all along here, and then maybe we have this guy around here. So that might make it a little bit easier. And the box, I think the box is shaped like a box. Did I say that? Oh no. I try my best not to. I repeat words very often, but then I forget mid-sentence. It is an interesting occurrence. I can 100% say that. So when we're looking at this guy, right, if I'm looking at what we just did, and I go back into Aseprite, what are we seeing? We have this guy here. So I'll go ahead and possibly, we'll just add that there. And then from that, the green is the side. So you know what? I'll do blue here. And then our green side. So we can say possibly this is a side, right? If it'll let me. Maybe this is continuous. Off. There we go. Maybe that's a side, right? Maybe then we have, all right, side. So everything to the left. We maybe have this guy's everything to the left, possibly. But I don't think that's to the left. This is be one flat surface. So that guy kind of going back in space. So I think it might look better like this. And then from there, it'll let me. Oh, it won't let me. We also have an area down here. So I'll go ahead and add that guy down there. And from there, we kind of have an edge here, but I think for now, that's okay. So from there, I'll go ahead and just copy these guys. So we have the side and, where are we at? Side, so this would be this color. The side color here would be, actually, you'd be the top, like that. And actually, we do this. And then we have our side color. So we have that guy there, and then we have our dark color. You can kind of see already, right? It adds clarification, I think. However, if I'm looking at this, I actually think what I was trying to do was have this as a side bit here, something like that possibly. And then I think what I was trying to do was have an area like so, where it was slanting upwards. possibly like that. And I think we would then have, let's see, maybe, something like that I think would work out a little bit better in terms of showing where areas go. Maybe like that. You kind of get the feel I'm trying to go for, and I think I actually might have to move this guy down here. Like, oh, they're all being moved. I only want one of you to be moved. The idea is that I think a lot of rocks comes down to getting that shape correct. Even just small differences, I think, change the way this rock looks. What I'll do is I'll try to keep that slant feel in mind, right? I'll go ahead and I'm just trying to figure out the design. If this guy's going up diagonally, oh, hold on. We have this guy here. There we are. If this guy is going up diagonally, what are we looking at here? I have this as a sort of shading bit at the bottom, but I don't think it works quite well. I think because it's so small, that attempted dithering doesn't quite work as well as I'd want it to. We'll keep it like that for now. I think what would help in our case is making this guy back here darker, since it's back in the area. So it might look something like that instead, where we have, this is a little bit closer. So something like that could work out a little bit better in terms of coloring, but it's just a thing of what layers are we looking at? What's closer, what's further away? When I'm looking at this guy here, if I zoom out a little bit, or actually, I should be able to just do this and move this guy up here. Yep. We have our top guy, and then we have our kind of slanted guy. Let me do more so like this, or hold on. Slanted guy kind of comes up here, and then we have another flat guy here. The idea is that we have one area here, that's the side bit here, and then we have another side bit here, kind of like so. And then there's a back bit that goes back in space, and then we have a downward bit. So that's the feel that I'm trying to think, and I think that works out a lot better than what we have here. So keeping that in mind, right, we have a slant here, top here. These are all tops. So if this light was coming, if the light was coming from directly above, what would we say? I think this guy would be right, they're directly facing the light, so they're all highlighted. I think that makes sense. That's why we have the second guy here as facing away, so it gets the second down from the color. From there, I think having these guys as the front, since they're facing forward. However, I'm not too sure about that black piece there, so I might remove it for now. And I think, as well, having that guy removed can help it feel a little less funny looking. Now, if we're doing that there, maybe something more like that can work, but I think this works out a little bit better. Something like that can show off the edges rounding, and I think, something like that can help a little bit. Maybe even do that. The original was round, so I want to keep it as best as I can, not round. And hi, Ancia, I believe, right? Welcome back to stream. Welcome. I hope you've been well. Let's see. And I think from there, right, we have this front guy, which is it's closer to us. So, and then we have one that is backwards behind us. Saying that, possibly what we could do is the greetings. From here, what I think could help is, let's see, that as a side, right? And then if we're looking at this from top down, I think what would help is having this guy here as the background and this guy here as the background, since these are back in time. So something like that might work out a little bit better in terms of, because it's getting less light, it has less effect on us. Because it's getting more light, though, it could look like this or it could look like this. I think there's an argument for both. Like maybe that could work, but I think the black is too harsh. If I'm being honest, I think 100% I would change this to maybe a darker color, but not black. Possibly like this might be my darker color. If we hue shift over, maybe do a little bit more dark here, I might make it look like this instead of completely black. I think it makes it feel better and not as harsh. Wouldn't you say if I do it like that instead? We'll do that. We'll keep it a little bit not quite the same. And let's see. Pop that guy out. Do I want that guy popped out? I think that works out a little bit better. This guy here is coming out, so this is kind of a side area view. I move this guy here. What I'll do is I'm trying to do edges. I'll just highlight some of these guys here, like that, and then maybe another edge like that. Tiny edges. And this is the same exact rock. Well, actually, might do all of that for a line because it's going down. And a doodle a day keeps the doctor away. Maybe, perhaps. Maybe that's why I'm feeling better. I've been trying to do more doodles. So what do you think? This guy compared to the other guy. It's the same exact shape, but I tried to make sense of what I was thinking here. This was 3 years ago in the making, and this is me trying to see, okay, I was thinking slanted maybe there, right? Maybe this guy here for our shaded bit, and then maybe we have this guy down here for another part, and maybe this guy. I tried my best to keep to the original look of the rock, but it looks like a rock, I can say that, and vast improvement. Thank you, indeed. It's definitely just wild to look at the before and after. I'm having a lot of fun with this.